Hello, 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 beautiful unicorns. Yana Kasperczak coming into your live from Ontario of Canada as your certified professional performance and spiritual awakening core energy coach. It has been my soul's purpose to help women, to help you get your shit together so you can break free from the mental prison you find yourself in and build a life, a business, and or a career that you are obsessed with. And one of the ways I do this on Mondays is I do a live card reading in this group, in this community, which is Heal Unicorn Emotional Healing and Spiritual Growth for Women. And typically I do card reading with one card, sometimes with 3 cards. But today I just felt like I don't know, doing something different that I have not done before. And that is, we're going to start off with one card from the Shaman's Dream. Dreams are messages. They are so powerful on our own journeys that help us to identify what's next and identify where we are right now as well. So I'm going to do the Shaman's Dream. And then we're going to pull out probably 3 cards from here because they're straightforward and often the 3 cards are aligned and there's no book that goes along with it. So some of you have already seen this deck and the rest of you are you're in for a treat. It's a rebel deck with attitude where there is, no fucks given. Okay, and then the last one is going to be, I'll read one of, I'll call it the scriptures. I refer to this as the mini Bible that all the IPEC graduates received, IPEC coach training. And it's such a powerful tool, and I actually often use this with actually all of my clients at least once. So it's a different form of a deck with just 33 cards. So let's get straight to it, shall we? So from the Shaman's Dream, all of the whatever it is that I'm opening and pulling out today, it's going to be exactly what you need and are ready to hear. Yes, there might be certain moments or certain points of the reading that you might not be ready to hear, but if you consciously you might not be ready to hear, but if you are not actually ready to hear it, you wouldn't be hearing it, you wouldn't be here watching this or listening to this podcast or to this live card reading. So it's all for you, and of course, since I'm part of it, there's magic in it for me as well. So this is the first card. Look at the prettiness of it. Magician's Sword, confidence in your magic. If you do not have confidence in your magic and the magic spell, whatever it is that you're doing, then you're not going to cast a proper spell. In other words, you're not going to manifest the very thing that you want, because confidence is one of the key ingredients in casting any kind of magic spell and manifesting anything that you want. And confidence in yourself and in your abilities is going to be key. So let's see how actually, before I go into this, no, I was gonna say maybe I'll pull up the other things and open the other cards and the book, but no, let's go one at a time, because as we're going through it, it will connect naturally with what's next. So, Magician's Sword, confidence in your magic. I'll put it this way so you can see. When the Magician's Sword appears, sorry, there's actually a little part before that. Confidence in your magic, nothing can stop you. The beauty you seek. When the Magician's Sword appears, you're called to cut the cords that bind you to old thought forms and beliefs, or to friends who are not true. The baggage that you're carrying, Often the baggage is referred to as like previous relationships, but it goes beyond that. It goes deeper than that. It goes as deep as all of your thoughts, all of your beliefs, especially those that are limiting you, all of the stories that you're carrying, even the way you view yourself or you view the world, all of that is your baggage. And this is where it's important to cut the cords with them and replace them with those that are in alignment with who you are becoming. As you are in the process of becoming, who are you becoming? It's important to understand what makes you you, what even makes you tick, maybe even what holds you back from your life, from certain experiences in your life. And when you start to identify that, that's when the real work happens. And that's when you can cut the cords with that baggage and essentially take that bag off and then leave it where it is. It's a process. And I know it's easier said than done. And I know it firsthand. And I see that there is so much magic when you're following a proven process that helps you to do these things and not just figuring it out all on your own, because there's a lot of struggle, and with that struggle often comes suffering, and people do often lose themselves in that process. And even more people decide to quit and end this healing and spiritual awakening journey before they've even fully begun, because it feels hard or challenging or impossible. But if it wasn't possible, you wouldn't be here. And if you need evidence, look around and you will find it. You will find it in numerous amount of people all throughout the world, from all different kinds of walks of life. And if they can do it, you can do it. If one person can do it, you can do it. All we need is just proof of anyone being able to overcome the same or similar struggles that we did, to believe that we too can do it too, and that we can do it even better. Okay, so and also with friends, there are some friends that are probably holding you back. And if you're trying to heal yourself and you're awakening spiritually, and those who are not working on themselves, not healing themselves, are doing everything they can to avoid doing the work, then you want to eliminate or at least minimize the amount of time you're spending with those people, because before you know it, you'll be right there with them. And surround yourself with people who will inspire you, who will motivate you, who will support you, who are there for you. So with the power of Magician's Sword, nothing can stop you, hurt you, or turn you away from the beauty you seek or the goal you desire with all of your heart. What is that goal that you desire with all of your heart? What do you want the most from yourself, from your life? Your life is you. You are your life. So what do you want in this one life for you? I'd love to see it. You can share that with me in the comments. And the sword is a tool, not a weapon. Big difference. So make sure you wield it wisely and for the greater good. Find the stuck places where you are kept tethered to a toxic person, a particular location, or a faulty thought or belief, and let the blade do its magic. You can do a visualization. It's one of my favorite tools that I uncovered back when. And I pictured umbilical cords. And it was to close your eyes and just visualize all of these different cords that are attached to you, that are feeding off of you, that are draining you. And with some of them, it will be just a thought, a bubble, and see what's inside that bubble. What is the thought that is floating inside that bubble? With others, as you follow the line of the umbilical cord, you might see that there is a person on the other side. And you can even go as far as identify what is about that person that is sucking you dry, that is emptying and taking your energy away from you. And then use your tool to cut the cord. You can do it one at a time, or you can do it with all at once. I've done it both ways. I've done it where, and also remember that to be gentle with yourself, that like me, you might not be able to see things clearly, and it would be more of a feeling of the cord is there and it's going, and the feeling of what that bubble with the thought and the words floating inside. It took time for me to see things clearly, or almost as clearly, to see in that bubble and the words actually written in that bubble, or to see a person on the other end. And also, this is where it's really, really interesting. When you think of people, and I would love to hear from all of you, so I can see that some of you are able to do this while majority probably not. When you think of people, whether it's your mom or dad, or your sister, or your spouse, or your kids, when you close your eyes, can you see their faces clearly? Even in your dreams, do you see people's faces clearly? Because majority of people do not. It's almost like the reason why we don't see the face or even the body clearly is because we see the soul. We see the person inside, the soul inside of who they are. And that's why we also usually don't remember what people say to us, but we always remember how they made us feel. So the impression they even made on us, right? Let me adjust myself. My foot is asleep as I was sitting on it. Ooh, tingly. So visualize these cords, people, thought bubbles, even beliefs in the bubbles. And like I said, you can do it all at once where you cut them all, or you can do one at a time. As you identify one, see yourself cut it with your confidence sword. Cut it, and then see the next one clearly, and then cut it, and even visualize it floating away, and then disappear into the ether, which means it goes back to whoever it belongs to, because they're capable of dealing with it. It's their baggage, not yours. You don't need to pick up everybody else's baggage. And then you can do that exercise for yourself as many times as you need to. And that's a form of letting go as well. Doesn't mean that it will be fully gone, but it helps you to move forward, and at the same time helps you to identify where a little bit of more work is perhaps needed or required. You have a large empowerment of magic available to you when you believe in miracles. When it comes to, it's like if you see one person doing it, proving, right, or seeing is believing. So if you see one person is able to do something, that means you are as well. And at the same time, if the thoughts that come to mind, that some of you might see and identify the areas that you think and believe on one level or another that you want to acquire or achieve certain things, and you're feeling a certain way, and perhaps you're not able to move forward and take action towards doing anything in that area, checking and seeing if this is actually what you truly want. Because you might want the end goal, But in order for you to get to that end goal, there's a whole journey that you must go on, that you must say yes to achieve and grow into that goal, into that thing that you want. And if you are not gonna like and enjoy the journey, then chances are you probably won't even care for the goal. So pick the journeys that you go on and be wise. Don't overdo it. Don't pick all these different types of journeys if you're not gonna enjoy them. So let things go as well when it comes to the journeys. And what else? But don't look to the heavens to grant you a wish. Look within. Use the magician's sword to cut through limiting beliefs, and remember that all beliefs are limiting and all beliefs can be changed. There's a difference between believing and knowing. Something that you believe is meant to be changed, and your beliefs are meant to be changed. And they grow and evolve as you do. When you were a child, you believed something. Maybe you believed in Santa. And then you grow up and you no longer believed, because you learned a few things and you shifted your belief system. But when it comes to knowing, something that you know cannot be changed. It can't. And that is one of the biggest differences between the two. And focus your attention in order to create what you wish, what you want. You have all the tools you need for the task at hand. You need only muster the wherewithal to deploy the resources you have. I'm not sure what wherewithal is, but yeah, you gotta believe in yourself, know that you clarify what you want, why you want it, and if it's actually you that wants it, and believe that you can achieve it until you get to the knowing that you can achieve it. And the knowing happens when you achieve it. No one can take that away from you. When the magician's sword appears, it is time to get moving. In other words, get off your ass and start doing the work. Move towards the things that you want. Take action and stop wishing and praying and stop asking the heavens to grant you the wishes that you want, and recognize that there's only so much visualization you can do until it's time to take action so you can grow and grow into your goals. And this is how you achieve your goals. You grow into them by taking action. A little bit every day, or a lot every day, depending on where you're at. This is not a tool for contemplation, for gazing at the finely polished edge. It is an instrument calling for decisive action. And remember, the sword is alive. With a wisdom you can summon to help you find the best course of action. Do not hesitate. Act. So that's with that. And I'm going to leave it there. I've already said, I feel like, more than enough, everything that needed to be said. Now let's move on to the Rebel deck. This one, like I said, is straightforward. I'm going to do 3 cards from this deck, so to help you solidify what you have just heard and learned from the first card. And I would actually love to hear, what is your takeaway? I know I will also ask in the end of the overall takeaway. There's 1 card. I will ask in the end of the overall takeaway, but as you're listening, there's going to be things that are coming up for you. There's going to be some realizations that are coming up for you. What are they? So, now, the first card. Eat some shit made by Mother Nature. Eat real food, in other words. Stop eating food products and eat whole foods, because it will make a difference. All the difference in the world, where you will feel more alive. And if you're feeling like a zombie, check your nutrition, because most of the food products that are available there, they're not alive. They're made in the factory, and they're made in the factory by people who are miserable, who hate what they do. And if you learn anything from this group, from this community, is that energy transfers. So if you have someone who hates their life, hates their job, hates what they do, hates this product that they're packaging, and they're packaging that product, putting hate into it, putting sadness and misery and grief and overwhelm into that product as they're touching it, do you not think it's possible that when you open it, when you touch the box, when you consume the product, that you're going to feel that same way? It transfers. You will feel some sort of way. Eat your fucking vegetables. Eat your vegetables. But when it comes to vegetables as well, you got to be your own little scientist and figure out what vegetables are good for you, which ones aren't, and cook them and make them in different ways, so that way you can see which ones are what's the best way of cooking them and preparing them for you. Not all vegetables are made to be eaten raw. Some are best baked, others are boiled, others are fried, and some are meant to be raw best. Yeah. Ancient shit is cool, which means your stories, your thoughts, your baggage that you've been carrying, the things that this magician's sword helps you cut, it's cool. It really is, because it helps you to learn more about who you are and who you were, and is not meant to limit you to who you can become. You need some fucking yoga in your life. Get active, move. Yoga might not be your thing. It used to be for a period of time. For me now, it's not. I prefer to do walks or hit exercises, short and quick. That's it. Because when I was younger, I enjoyed exercising, and I would spend hours, and I loved it. And now I love doing other things, and I want to spend time doing those things and not so much exercise. So with exercise, might be yoga for you. For others, it might be a walk, or it might be a jog, it might be a hike, it might be a HIIT workout, it might be walk on a treadmill, it might be dance, it might be even gardening, depending on the season. Here, not much gardening I can do. It's more like shoveling. It might be shoveling the snow. To each their own. So figure out how you want to move your body. And remember that even exercise itself, so not necessarily yoga, even though yoga is considered to be ancient, but exercise itself is an ancient tool that is meant to awaken and heal the body. Last card from this pull is, you need food in your belly. Eat a fucking taco. Food again. Now, I don't know about taco themselves, because it just really taco itself to me, it represents all the things that are good for you and for your body. You got to eat those things in one meal. And sometimes it might be just one ingredient type of a food you eat, but the rest of the times, variety. You gotta work with your body and not against it, and it's up to you to learn what works with and for your body and what doesn't. Have you eaten? You're acting like a big ass baby. So a reminder that if you're feeling emotional or sad or even stressed or anxious or overwhelmed, check the food that you're eating. It might be affecting you. If you're eating food products, you're eating somebody else's energy. Very possible. If you're eating whole foods, maybe those foods are actually not good for you and not working well with your body. And that is a rabbit hole that you are meant to go into if you feel called to go into, so you can heal yourself through food. One of the things that was adding to my anxiety was nutrition. Or when I am, not as of recent, for the past couple of years, but I used to feel very anxious or stressed, and when I would feel that way, I couldn't eat. And when I couldn't eat, it was just amplifying it. It was making my body shake and quiver and make my heart pump faster than it needed to. And it was just lack of nutrition, and I was malnourished. Ooh, so this is the one. Now, checking your ego. Sometimes the reason why we have or stick to certain belief systems that we have, or certain people or experiences, might be due to the ego. So, from Unconventional Wisdom, from IPEC, self-mastery occurs when the ego is transcended. The great masters of wisdom tell us that moving beyond the ego is the ultimate way to experience life. Most of us live in the duality of mine and yours, good and bad, and right and wrong. These are all ego-created judgments. By aligning with our authentic core self, we will be more able to release our natural wisdom and clarity. Ego is associated with the low energy, the lower levels of energy. Especially those of you, some of you are familiar with the 7 energy levels that we talk about. If you're not, there's a video. You just go into the search bar in the group and you type in 7 energy levels, and you'll find at least 1 or 2 different videos where we talked about energy levels, and they'll help you to understand what we're talking about. But when you're tapping, when you are being level 1 or being level 2, level 1 is when you're victim and you think in your thoughts and your body and your emotions and your feelings are all feeling like things are happening to you. That is where the ego is. Now, level 2 is where you believe that you must win and you gotta fight for things, and I'll show them and I'll prove them. And this is where the ego is as well. And in level 3, this is where I'm moving up, you'll feel better because you're making sense of things to make sense for you, and you're really just focused on you winning and you getting past something. Past means you're not actually dealing with it. You're not actually working through it. You're not healing it. You're not overcoming it. You're getting past it. You're just normalizing it. You're seeing the silver lining, and you're not dealing with the root cause. This is where the ego is as well, in these 3 levels. A little bit in level 4, where you're taking care of others and you're the caregiver, because you're in some way hoping to get something in return, and if you don't, before you know, you'll find yourself in the lower energy levels and then moving up again and then going back to level 4. So the other thing I would add to the ego is there are people who are narcissists, and they are living and existing in those 3 energy levels, and level 3 is the one that can be and is quite dangerous when a narcissist masters it, because they learn how to manipulate people in their life to get what they want by using level 1 and level 2, and learning you and your stories and your thoughts and your feelings and emotions that you're expressing through those energy levels as well, and they're using and manipulating you to make a win for themselves. And some of you have been through narcissistic relationships and abuse, and you know what I'm talking about. Now, yes, this is where some of you might already kind of question, okay, so if I'm feeling and experiencing level 1, 2, and 3. Am I a narcissist? No. There are people who are narcissists or have, and then there's people who have narcissistic tendencies, right? Those who are actual narcissists, and they might not know it, and many of them simply cannot change, while the rest of us, we're essentially using this part of all of us that we have that is referred to as narcissistic thoughts, actions, and behaviors, which are rooted in the ego. And as you move up the levels, there's less and less and less ego. And then the quote here, I am he as you are he, as you are me, and we are all together. And this is by Lennon and McCartney. In other words, we are one. And when we practice not seeing separation between ourselves and our life and our experiences, we begin to feel free and whole. And we begin to notice how we release these earthly attachments that are not allowing us to live freely, authentically. And when you start seeing that everything that we have is ours, it's not yours or mine, and there is no right or wrong, it is. There is no good or bad, it is. And that's where I'll leave it, because I know this is quite a bit of information to consume from all of these different tools, all of these different forms of reading. And if there's any one of these that you like, let me know, and I can maybe even do it for next reading or the following one. Otherwise, let me know what your biggest takeaway is from this whole entire card reading, book reading, and most importantly, what are you going to do with that takeaway? Because just learning something and having an aha moment often is not enough. Because it often comes with even a small little action that you can take that will solidify what you have learned, that will put it into practice as well, or into doing. So that is all that I wanted to share and talk about for today. Looking forward to hearing from each and every one of you. And what I actually want to leave with is this last card that's on top. You are loved. You are here for a reason. Don't fuck it up. And your feelings, thoughts, emotions are the very things that might be and often are fucking it up. I know for me they were. And until I learned what it meant to get my shit together for me, I just kept feeling like I was fucking it up, and I was feeling like a failure. And one thing I heard is this. If I ask you to name all the things and all the people that you love, how long will it take for you to name yourself? Just think about that. Because when I started this healing journey, I wouldn't even have made the list. I wouldn't have even made the cut. Whereas now, I'm the first one on the list. And it took a little bit of work. A lot of work, I'm not gonna lie. Discomforts, struggles, a lot of I can't, I don't want to, not yet, I don't deserve it, and then digging into those and then letting them go. And having been there, done that, this is why I know that there's so much power in following proving steps, because I went at it on my own for longer than I should have, and it was very challenging, it was very hard. And until I finally said, I'm just going to listen and follow the proven steps. And I did. And this is where I want to remind each and every one of you. There's so much out there that is going to help you, that is going to give you the band-aid fix. But all the things that will really transform you permanently, you are not very likely to find them for free. Because those are the tools and the steps that someone has put together after having gone through it, been there, done that, and they have put the steps that they know are going to help you and almost every human being to get there, to eliminate all of the guesswork, all the pain and suffering and the loss and confusion and burnout and overwhelm that comes with going at it on your own. And that's why I will always recommend signing up for a program or a course that resonates with you, and most importantly connects with where you're trying to go and where you're trying to get to. And on top of that, there is a lot of tools out there available that will help you to learn and grow and understand. And this is where also those of you who are not who haven't signed up yet, I want to invite each and every one of you to the workshop that Anna and I will be hosting this coming Friday, the 24th, if my math is right. Yeah, 24th, Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So if you haven't registered, you haven't signed up, the link is in the event page, which is pinned to the very top, to the featured section. And follow the link, register, because I also do see quite a few of you have said, yes, I'm going, but you have not actually registered. And in order for you to get the link to join this workshop, the live workshop, you have to register. Otherwise, you're not going to get the link. So just wanted to remind that of each and every one of you. Before I put these cards away, I want to make sure I incorporate them at the bottom. That is all that I wanted to share and talk about today. Looking forward to seeing all of your comments and those of you who are hopping on and watching the replay. And until next time, have an amazing rest of your day. We'll see each other next week at 11:45 a.m. Eastern time-ish for another one of these live card readings. Or maybe we'll see each other tomorrow in Sacred Circle. Have an amazing rest of your day, ladies. Bye.